I am the Zhun of House of Zunbil, and my family has ruled these mountains for generations. In this place, we worshipped our god Zhun, the great deity of the sun. We fought against the Persians in their eastward expansion, but it was not enough. Now, it is up to me to bring my people our freedom, and our god, once more. Hello Wanderers, welcome to a brand new Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series with the Legacy of Persia DLC, and this is our character Nizam of House of Zunbil, the same Zunbil dynasty that has ruled the mountains of Afghanistan for many generations, at least until the coming of the Saffarids, who have subjugated us and forced us to convert to the religion of Ash'ari. Our character inherits the throne at a very young age. He is only 12 years old. So as he looks to lead his dynasty to the place that they had once held in these lands, he will have a very difficult road ahead of him. But let us take a look at our character here because he is quite interesting. Now, the first thing that you will notice is that some time has passed since the 867 start. Now, we originally were playing as his father, Salih Kure al-Hujir, and this is a very interesting character. If you want to play as somebody who has a similar kind of playstyle to Rostam over here, who is a secret Zoroastrian, and the kind of inheritor to the Legacy of Persia, the titular character of the DLC, essentially. Well, if you want to play an alternative to that, Salih of House of Zunbil is a very good option, because this is a character who starts off with a secret faith as well, the Zunist faith. And that is a faith that our family has led for many generations now. Historically, there's not a lot known about this faith. It just kind of appears in some ancient records, and there's a lot of theories about what they worshipped and the god that they worshipped, the sun god potentially. And so it's a very interesting faith if you want to play an alternative to Rostam over here in Zoroastrianism. So our father had that secret faith, and he has passed it on to us. Unfortunately, he died, and leaving us with the throne at just 12 years of age. So we too have the secret Zunism faith here, even though we profess to be Ash'ari in order to appease our Saffarid overlords here. So we'll hopefully get a chance to get to show our faith, and potentially reform it, because it is a unreformed faith, I do believe. So we've got a lot of things that we're going to want to do with this character. But like I said, let's take a look at him and let's take a look at our traits. So our traits here: just, diligent, ambitious, and our childhood trait is charming. Now, this is a vanilla character. I did not go and tweak any of this character's stats or anything like that when I was playing as his father. And essentially, I was just trying to learn the new DLC and kind of figure out what kind of things they've added here. I did marry somebody who had the genius trait, and it just so happened that their firstborn and only son here inherited that trait as well. So that's pretty good. So we've got really good stats. So in addition to the genius trait, we are also melancholic. Our father died at a pretty young age, and that has obviously affected our character. And then we have the detractor of the caliphate, which is one of the new traits related to the Legacy of Persia DLC, which is going to give us some very interesting options as we do follow that Ash'ari faith, at least in public. So yeah, we're going to have some interesting options here. We do have two sisters, and both of them are quite intelligent as well. So we'll hopefully be able to get some good alliances out of that. We are going for a deep diplomacy education here. So this is going to be an interesting type of playthrough. We're going to be doing a lot of diplomacy. Now, there will be some expansion and there will be some conquest, because we have inherited claims on a lot of lands from our fathers. So Sistan and Zabulistan. You can see those right here. These lands are the traditional lands of the Zunbil dynasty. So we're going to try to get those back. Obviously, Zabulistan is going to be much easier than Sistan, which is directly ruled by the Saffarid rulers here. But we'll have to see about that. Now, our character being a genius, and hopefully he's going to get a good education trait, we are going to be playing that diplomacy game, but we're going to be using that in order to kind of assist us in retaking our lands and things like that. So we're probably not going to play super tall, I imagine, but I don't think we're going to play super wide either. This is going to be kind of a nice mixture. We're going to look for alliances. We're going to use those alliances to take on foes that might be more powerful than ourselves, such as the Saffarids. So we're going to look for alliances with their enemies, like here with the Tahirids, and maybe some other ones around here. So yeah, we're going to be playing alliances, we're going to be playing politics, and we're going to use that to become independent and to essentially eventually, hopefully, reveal our true faith here, and then go on from there. We start off at a young age, so this character could go for a while. We will see what he is capable of. I am very, very curious here. So you can see that our mother is our regent. I'm not too worried about her not turning over power to us when we come of age. We can take a look at our regency here really quick. She is selfless, which is perfect. So yeah, we don't really need to worry too much about that, but it's going to be interesting to play a character who has 4 years at least of regency, not to mention getting those events that are specific to characters who are under the age of majority. There's lots of events that you don't normally get to see because you're not always playing characters who are this age. So hopefully we're going to get a couple cool ones here, and I'm kind of looking forward to see what comes up. We haven't really started a character this young in any of our roleplay series, so that should be pretty cool. We do have a council full of characters, and we will potentially be listening to some of them, but I think really the most important character here, other than our mother, is our friend here, a very, very interesting character named Amon. And this is a man who grew up and spent years, decades living in the mountains here in this region, which is inhabited by the Sogdian people. And he started hearing voices and seeing visions at a very young age, causing him to leave his home to go up into those mountains. And what he learned there, we don't even know. Secrets of the universe, it appears, because this character is a erudite oracle, but he's eccentric. He is a witch. He's possessed, a lunatic here. This guy is quite the character here. Now, later on in his life, after living up in the mountains for a long time, for whatever reason, we do not know, he has ventured south here and found himself in the court of Vali Nizam of House Zunbil. And we have actually made him our court physician, and despite this character's eccentricities, somehow he has kind of come to become something of a friend to us, maybe a mentor. I don't know if you could call him a mentor, but I think that there's something about this guy that our character just finds very fascinating. And so he might be a little bit mad, but I think our genius character here sees something beyond the madness. And so, yeah, hopefully this character will have some good influence on our character and his story. We see him, like I said, not quite as a mentor, but certainly somebody who we find really fascinating. He is of the Sabian religion, which is a dualist faith here. quite interesting. This guy, yeah, like I said, this is a very interesting character. We're going to see what kind of influence he has on us, and I'm curious to see what events pop up. But yeah, really, that's kind of our setup. You'll see that the struggle here is almost going to turn to another phase, the stabilization phase, it looks like. So, like I said, about 15 years has passed since that 867 start. And yeah, things are going to be quite interesting. But let us get time rolling here and see what happens. Now, we do have some claims, but I don't think we're going to rush those claims right away, even though our mother is kind of a warlike character. Not really, though. She's forgiving, she's stubborn, she's trusting. So as our regent, she obviously isn't going to be getting us into any wars. But we do have a claim down here on our distant cousin's lands here. Firuz Karela Khan of House Zunbil. Oh, there's lots of things going on already. I'm going to slow time down just a little bit here. But this character, we have claims on his land, and we are actually his heir. He is also our heir. So yeah, we're going to see what plays out with that. Looks like he burned somebody at the stake already. He doesn't have any kids, and he's not married, so we might just inherit those lands anyways. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. And then we have claims on these lands here to the north. So we've got claims on Zabulistan and Ghazna here. So we can potentially take these lands kind of pretty quickly. But like I said, our mother is our regent. She doesn't seem like the kind of character who's going to be getting us in any wars. So we're just going to hunker down and focus on kind of building up what we can. I don't really want to spend a ton of money developing this capital county here, Zamindawar, because it's not very good. I mean, Bast would be significantly better, but I would really love to get a better county. Kabul is one of the better ones in the region. Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, you're probably wondering a little bit more about the secret faith, the Zunist faith, and we can go into that right now. So the Zunist faith, like I mentioned, is not something that is really well known historically, but it is one of the more interesting faiths that you can play as in the game because, like I said, it's an unreformed faith. It's in this region that is really greatly expanded with the Legacy of Persia DLC. And it is, yeah, so let's just take a look here. So it has unrelenting faith. So yeah, prowess +4, which is nice. Faith hostility advantage. Sun worship. So like I mentioned, this faith is supposedly worshiping a sun god. Not much is known about it, but here we have the sun worship tenet, which gives us hosting feasts in the summer months earns piety. Imprisoned criminals can be sentenced to a sun trial, which is exciting. And then we get some bonuses in the desert. So yeah, that could be helpful. It's not the greatest tenet, but you know, such as it is. And then we also have Eastern syncretism here. So we have some commonalities with some of the faiths to the east, which should be able to get us some strong alliances like in Egypt and Tibet and those kind of regions. You can quickly just kind of take a look at all the rest of these. If you want to pause it and take a look, by all means do so. But it is an unreformed faith. So you can see we've got these 4 holy sites here. We could easily get 2 of them. One of them is Bast, which, like we pointed out, is ruled by our cousin. We have claims on. And then the other one's up here in Kabul, which we should be able to potentially get to pretty easy. Now, then we have 2 other options from there, which is Nishapur and Multan. Those 2 are going to be definitely quite a bit harder because it's in the Tahirids and I believe Rajputana here or Banusama, one of those 2. So that's going to be quite a bit more difficult, but we should be able to do so. Now, we are going to try to reform the faith if we can. Our character with that genius trait, he should pretty easily be able to go up the learning tree to get the perks that we need in order to reform the faith, so not too worried about that at all. Our mother did just get us some money. We probably should spend a little bit just on building up our... Yeah, I don't want to spend anything on money, but getting some extra troops is going to be helpful. Actually, we'll get cavalry because that gives us money and troops here. But yeah, we're going to need a little bit of troops because we don't have a lot of land, and we will need to do some expansion here. What I would really like to get is to form the Kingdom of Kabulistan here. Should be possible, but we are going to have to work for that. So yeah, we'll just essentially let time roll and see what kind of events. We're going to kind of play it out for these first couple of years of our character's life as if we were a young man with a regent here and don't really have all the power. Even though we are quite brilliant, we are going to be learning as much as we can from the people of our court. So the unrest phase is transitioning into stabilization. Stabilization will start in 90 days. So despite the brewing trouble, the Caliph still commands respect. Rebellions and factionalism are on the back foot, but the lords of Persia will not be brought easily to heel. So the Caliph here, Caliph al-Mutaz, is, even though things are becoming slightly more stable in the general Persia region, definitely not so with the Caliph himself, because as you can see here, he is losing a lot of wars here. So what do we got? So he is defending against Prince al-Mutadi in a liberty war here, which he's probably going to lose. He's also defending an independence war, which is going to split up his empire quite a bit here. What else do we have? A Armenian apostolic uprising. We've also got a sponsored conquest of Khuzestan and a Zanj rebellion. So yeah, this Caliph, who is generous but arbitrary, just doesn't have any power at all to prevent the downfall of the Abbasids, which is fine. You'll see that his brother was murdered. Another brother died of unknown causes, so murder. Another brother was found smothered in a downy robe by him, actually, so murdered. What happened to you? Slain in battle. Oh, so not murdered. He's got another brother who died from wounds, so not murdered. And then another one who died of unknown causes, so murdered. Oh, what do we got here? Another murdered. Oh, no, executed brother. Wow, okay. A couple of his siblings are still alive. Oh, we've got one here. Slain in battle. Yeah, so being an Abbasid, definitely not a safe career choice, really. Well, just to put it simply. But yeah, I think we're going to see the downfall of the Abbasids here pretty quickly, even though we are transitioning into that stability phase. I don't think it's going to be enough to stop this here. Caliphal concerns. The eastern frontier has long been a refuge for heathens and strange sects. Yeah, indeed it has. One such as the Zunist one. Yet in Arivajan, the Caliph al-Mutaz has grown increasingly concerned about this. We have heard about Mahayanans in the Valaya of Zamindawar who practice bizarre rituals. Oh, this is in my lands. The Caliphal envoy Sawur pauses, as if gathering courage, before he continues in a low, scandalized voice. Some even speak of rituals of a carnal nature. Enough is enough. The Caliph wants you to deal with these miscreants. I'll make an example of them. No, obviously we're not going to make that choice. The scripture in the proper language will show them the way. I can send my court imam Zahak to preach to them. Alas, I have more urgent concerns. So our character, being a genius, and don't forget, we do have a mother who is actually a Zoroastrian here. But I think our character is 13 years old. This decision's maybe actually coming down to us. So I think that we would realize that even though we secretly practice Zunism, in order to continue to, hold up the facade of following the Ash'ari faith, we are going to need to try to find a middle ground here. So I think what we're going to say is the scripture in the proper language will show them the way. So we are actually going to promote the Arabic language, but essentially we're promoting learning more so than the religion itself. So we got to spend a little money, but we get promoting Arabic, which is actually not too bad. And yeah, so that's how we kind of appease the Caliph there, I think. Decision available. Find a new faith for Persia. Interesting. Why can we do that? We can convert to Imamism. Oh, I see. We could convert to one of these other faiths. But I don't see any reason to do that because we're already just pretending to follow our faith anyways, right? So yeah, I don't think we need to really worry about that. We do have 1 minute arms regiment. We should probably station them here. We'll station them over there. We could get another one. We can actually afford it. So what do we have? We have the Ayar here. Do we get camel riders? No, I think we have to get siege weapons, don't we? I mean, we can get more though. So maybe we get camel riders as well. We can afford it. So do we station our siege weapons? That's not really going to help too much. But we could station our camel riders and give them some slight bonuses there. So that's also going to, boost up our troop capabilities here just enough, hopefully to protect ourselves. Because I do believe that, Farouz has claims here on our lands as well. So we don't want, and he's got an alliance here with somebody with some troops. Ooh, actually, he's got an alliance with the Saffarids. Ali the Lewd. Interesting. Interesting guy, that one. Competitive succession. Very interesting. Oh, you know what? Maybe the Abbasids... Oh, no. They're still fighting. They're still fighting quite a few rebellions here. Oh, they probably lost that Liberty War, is what I'm guessing happened there. When they lose this Independence War, it's not actually going to break off too much, surprisingly. Oh, we are ill. Let's see. You seem to be under the weather, my lord. I know a fair number of suitable remedies. So this is Amon here, the madman. We're gonna trust him to treat us here. I'm willing to try new things, do no more than what is necessary. I think we're gonna say do no more than what is necessary here. The steam rose from the cup as Amon stirred the green powder in it. He explained the healing properties of the herb at length before motioning for me to drink it. The root is in there too, he boastfully revealed. The bitter herb turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the symptoms seem to be alleviated and the world seems a little bit brighter. So there we go, reduced disease symptoms for a year. So good on Amon to keep us healthy. Thank you, Amon. We do got a little bit of a rebellion fomenting here. It's a peasant rebellion. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for that. But like I said, we did just, increase our troops in order to protect ourselves. So hopefully we will be able to do so. 14 years old here. There doesn't seem to be any special decisions here. I mean, we could steer House Unity. This could actually be good. It's going to cost us some piety. So some of the interesting mechanics, we're going to do this and we are going to take a look at the dynasty tree. So this is one of the new mechanics in the Legacy of Persia DLC, and it gives you some pretty interesting options. Now, I haven't not delved into this very much at all, but we are going to delve into it together, essentially. If you've got any suggestions or comments or anything about the new DLC, how to use it, just let me know down in the comments below. Because like I said, I've only kind of played around with this a little bit here. So we're potentially able to increase our house unity, which gives us some interesting different effects, which you can see right here. And then we also have some decisions such as organizing house members for war, establishing Futua lodges. Oh, this could be interesting. So what is this? The young men of Zamindawar, lacking suitable outlets for their energies, are roaming the capital in makeshift gangs. Instead, I could establish Futua lodges throughout the capital to instill martial prowess and morals in their idle time. All unmarried young men living in your capital have a chance of increasing their martial and prowess skills and of gaining the virtuous trait. Oh, a virtuous trait for the next 20 years. Currently, 0 young men in the capital would benefit from this decision. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for ourselves. So we're going to actually hold off on this, but we can also organize our members for war. So we would get organized for war, which gives some nice bonuses. Yeah, really cool things that we're going to have to play around with a little bit more here. But that is one of the new things with Persia DLC, and I'm curious to see. So we are in the stabilization phase. Looks like we could be going back to unrest or perhaps to concession. Now, we don't know how the struggle is going to end. There are a couple different options. Abbasid humiliation, renewed caliphate, Iranian resurgence. Who knows? We're not going to bother looking at all of that just yet. So there's a lot to do with this character, but it is not something that we need to rush for. Ooh, Caliph. The Caliph was taken prisoner. Well, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate for the Caliph, so it looks like he lost another one of his rebellions here. I think it was this must have been the independence one. Yeah, so he lost the independence one. So Sajid, I believe, became independent along with like a couple other small ones here. Yeah, I mean, things are not going well. He's also got that Armenian Apostolic Uprising, which, you know, we'll see if he pulls that off. I mean, he's got marginally more troops, but the Bagratunis are actually assisting here with that rebellion, so hopefully they'll be able to pull that off. I'm rooting for them anyways. They are currently winning. So yeah, we'll see if the Bagratunis actually manage to win that. Bagratunis, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Bagrationis do exist, which is a pretty famous historical dynasty in the Georgia region. But is this the same dynasty, or is this a kind of, are the Bagrationis like a cadet dynasty of Bagratuni? I can't remember how it is in the game, but anyways, somebody will probably correct me in the comments anyways. So Tahirids are facing some rebellion here, war against the tyranny. Don't mind that. Well, actually, we would like the Tahirids to be strong, so we could potentially use them against the Saffarids, but we shall certainly not be counting on that at all. So, hopefully we're going to recover from this illness here. I mean, our health is fine, so that's all right for now. There we go. We are our old self once again. Emir, so our Emir has declared war on Emir Mur, who is here in Banu Tai. That seems far away. What kind of war are we declaring on them? Install a loyalist in Azerbaijan. So with the whole DLC, the Legacy of Persia DLC, there's these new traits: a supporter of the Caliphal authority and detractor of the Caliphate, which gives you some different options here, like the foment revolt, request incursion, and the opposite one gives some options as well. Install a supporter, Casus Belli. So there's essentially these two factions. Do you support the Caliph or do you not support the Caliph? Obviously, we do not support the Caliph because we don't even believe in the same faith as the Caliph, even though we pretend to do so. My vassal Naib Murad has honored me with a visit and has brought one of his courtiers along. Murad approaches me excitedly. Well met, Vali Nizam. It pleases me to see you thriving here in Zamindawar. It occurred to me that Amen here might be of service to your court. He is an incredibly talented scholar, the brightest I have learned from. I would make use of him myself, but alas, it doesn't seem possible. I would hate to see his great talent go to waste. Won't you take him and unleash his potential? So we've got this character here who, I mean, he's actually more of a warrior scholar, actually. This character is actually quite good. We will certainly accept him into our court, because he's going to probably make a useful captain, I would imagine. Well, his skill is not that high, but could he be a good marshal? Potentially, actually. You know what? We're going to replace our current marshal with this guy because he is very skilled at his job here. We're actually going to get him to train captains. It would appear that my Faris as Afsur has been performing exceptionally well lately, and so an opportunity has presented itself, allowing me to greatly guide and influence his work for the foreseeable future. Perhaps this is an opportunity for him to further enhance his skills. Spy on my subjects. You'll learn much by keeping a watchful eye. Devote your time to scholarly studies. Speak favorably of me as you travel. You are here to collect taxes. No. Oh yeah, so this guy's our tax collector. We'll take a look at that mechanic in a moment as well. I think we're gonna say devote your time to scholarly studies because we want to well-learned people in our court. So yeah, tax jurisdictions, another new thing with the DLC. I don't really know what's going on with this. I have not looked at this too much. So yeah, if you know how to work this, the tax decrees and all that kind of stuff here, it looks like there's quite a few different options here that we're going to play around with. But like I said, this is just the first episode. We don't need to worry about all of that stuff just yet. We're going to worry about this. Playdate. Mabest is a lot of fun to be around. She usually demands a lot of attention, but I do not mind. Every time I see her, my day is made better. Whenever our eyes meet, my stomach fills up with butterflies. Oh, I wonder if she would like this poppy that I found. Seems we've got a little bit of a crush here on Mabest. So we're gonna say, you know what? We'll go along with it because I think having a crush is gonna make things more interesting in our character's story. So this flower is for you, Mabest. So we give her a poppy. And she likes us too. So look at this. We actually have a crush, which is, yeah, that's cool. We'll see if that romance plays an important part of our character's story later on. Who knows? Ooh, but what we do have is a rebellion to the false Valid Nizam. We have been burdened with your oppressive laws for far too long. No more. We are done paying you taxes. Once your coffers dry up and your larders are empty, you will wish you had treated us more fairly. Signed, Leader Ayesha of the Peasant Revolt. Never. A peasant's lot is to serve their lord. I guess I could grant a tax lien. I don't think that we are going to accept this, are we? Increased autonomy for 10 years. You know what? I'm curious here. You know what? Normally I would just fight the peasants, but I don't know if our character here would do so. You know, we are just, and we are, you know, a diplomatic kind of character. I think that we will say, you know, perhaps the laws under my father were too harsh, and so we will allow some lowering of the taxes for a period of 10 years. 10 years only. So they're going to get increased autonomy for 10 years. And yeah, I guess we'll play the diplomatic game here, you know? We easily could have crushed that peasant faction, but we chose a different option. That's what I like about these roleplay series, is that it's not just straightforward what you're going to do. Like, you know, although sometimes I do make decisions based on gameplay and mechanics, I do try to, at the very least, choose the options that still make some sense with our characters here. So we're actually known for our dedication to the faith, so we make a very good show of being Ashari, even if we are not necessarily very zealous about it here. We're gonna pardon our friend Amon. What crime did you commit, Amon? We don't seem to know. He did have a daughter here, but Yeah, I don't know what. I guess we'll grant a pardon. I wish it would say we have an execution reason on him though. I mean, does it say imprison? Oh, because he's a witch. Yeah, we'll forgive him for being a witch there. Because yeah, we find his eccentricities fascinating, like I said. So as I'm looking at our character here, we're 15 years old. We're gonna age up quite soon here. But take a look at our character's stats. We already have 21 diplomacy, and we don't even have our diplomacy trait yet. We've got pretty good martial. Stewardship is great. Intrigue is low, but that's, that's fine because we're, a just character. And our learning's great as well. But yeah, we're gonna turn out to be a pretty good character here. Lasting heartbreak. The courtyard echoes with the noise of soft sobbing. Argivan, our sister, sits on a bench, tears streaming down her face. She tries to choke them back as I approach, gesturing to the space next to her miserably. I just miss father so much. I can't stop thinking about him. It has been quite some time since our father Salih passed away, but it's clear she still feels his loss keenly. See, these are the events that you don't get when you're just playing adult characters all the time. Might as well try to take her mind off it. Diplomacy challenge against her. We could lose some stress, increase our diplomacy, potentially get a friendship, or we say, I'm not sure what to say here. No, obviously, we're going to make this diplomacy challenge. Ah, but she's inconsolable. Darn, I was hoping that we would succeed on that one. My secrets are uncomfortable burdens I can never put down, but if I just shared them with someone, they might be lighter to carry. I feel certain that Amon would understand me. Come closer, Amon. I have something to confess. Oh, do we tell Amon of our secret fate? You know what? I think we do. 25% chance he becomes our best friend too. You know what? This guy, we say that we, accept him for all his strange beliefs and stuff like that because we have strange beliefs as well. Let us tell him of our secret here. I don't think he became our best friend, but he does know our secret now. Hopefully he will not try to use it against us or anything, try to blackmail with us. Blackmail us with it. I don't think he will because we're friends. But you never know. You just never really know. Looks like we are going to age up here quite quickly in May. Ooh, camel breeders are finished here. Got a bit of money. We could probably upgrade one of these. You know what? We should probably upgrade camel breeders because we are going to get a little bit more money out of that. But yeah, just a few more months and then we will be 16 years old. We'll see how our character ends up here in the final bit of his youth and what kind of character we'll be playing going forward. I mean, we know he's going to be diplomacy, but how good at it is he? I'm hoping that he's going to be quite good because of his genius level stats here and his high learning, but you never really know. Well, it looks like things ended up pretty good. With the help of Zaria, I have achieved an understanding of diplomacy that far exceeds any of my peers. Even though I had a natural inclination towards the subject, my mastery of it is still an achievement. As I take my first steps into adulthood, I find myself reminiscing about some of the people who have made an impact on the man I have become. The friendship I shared with Amon meant a lot to me when we were both young, or when I was young, not him. He's quite old, and still to have him by my side means a lot. I had some memorable times with Mabest. She truly helped me understand both myself and love. Vali Nizam, you're a man now, so we gain Charismatic Negotiator. We have that positive inclination towards Mabest. And yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at our character here. So yeah, that bonus with Gray Eminence is quite nice here. We've got 27 diplomacy now. Yeah, this character is going to be a diplomatic powerhouse, and I am really excited to see how this is all going to play out, but we are going to see how it plays out in the next episode. So until then, Wanderers, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There will be more episodes coming up soon.